most likely to be affected by a possible Trump presidency? Well, probably through the traffic being shut down from the Palm Beach International Airport along Southern Boulevard here to Mar-a-Lago, where Trump will likely visit. When Air Force One brings a president to town, the Secret Service issues a core no-fly zone for a radius of 10 nautical miles and a secondary, less restrictive area for 25 miles. So if that were Trump, that would shut down private jets flying into the runways adjacent to PBIA.
Not yet here, but it will be if he becomes president. We're used to Obama when he's in Chicago. He shuts down the airports for 3 or 4 days at a time. It becomes a pain, yes.
Private pilots would have to fly into Boca Raton or Fort Lauderdale instead. Passenger flights would remain uninterrupted. The Secret Service would shut down the route from the airport to I-95 and then to Southern Boulevard if Trump were heading to his second home and private club Mar-a-Lago. The Southern Boulevard Bridge leading to Palm Beach off limits while the president is coming or going.
That would really affect a lot of traffic, especially here locally. I mean, I-95 is crazy as it is.
And guests at Trump's pricey private club Mar-a-Lago would have to undergo TSA-type screenings while the president was there. Remains to be seen if they would enjoy that before dinner.
Probably not. Although we've probably been through this before with the Kennedys, right?
Well, that was back in the 60s, yeah.
Yeah, probably security wasn't as big as it is today.
And just as when Obama plays golf, if Trump were to tee up at his Trump National Golf Course, secret security agents would be keeping a tight watch there as well. Will most people enjoy the fanfare of having a president regularly visit or be annoyed?
Oh, people are going to get upset about anything that disrupts their day.
How about you personally?
I go with the flow, so that's fine.
And now that Donald Trump is the Republican nominee, you can expect to see some of these security measures go into place right away. In West Palm Beach, Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.